Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Sorry, I was just in the bin trying to find the government's plan to get us out of this lockdown, but couldn't find it. Looks like that means you guys are gonna be stuck with me on the daily vlogs for a long time to come yet. But I'm fine with that. And today is a super exciting day. To be honest, sometimes I wing these vlogs, which means I don't really know what I'm gonna film for the day or what I'm gonna do to the car. I just kind of make it up as I go. And some other days, I have plans and I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Today though, I got a message on my Instagram, in my inbox, that made me really, really happy. Now, we've already got a part on this car that came from a subscriber. You guys know, Vinny. He hooked us up with the Evo 4 cluster that's in this thing now, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts on the car. When I sit in that driver's seat and see that cluster, makes me feel real good because it's a genuine Evo part, right? But today, another subscriber hit me up and said that he had another part for the car that is just, might be my new favorite part, or at least equals the Evo 4 cluster. So if you've been watching the series so far, you'll know that this bonnet is a little bit of a touchy subject, right? Some people love it, some people hate it, some people want me to go to a standard bonnet, some people want me to move the bonnet skirt forward, some people think that once it's all painted one color, it'll, you know, look way better and match the car. Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore because a subscriber known as Josh, I don't know how to say your last name, Josh, so I'm not even going to try, slid into my DMs today and said, Mike, I have an Evo 4 full fiberglass bonnet for you that will bolt straight up to your car. Sitting here. Send me a picture, and it turned out he's around the corner, so today I went and picked it up, and I am honestly over the moon with this thing. It's gonna complete the look of the car in such an insane way. Oh, and it was so cheap, like an insane deal. So here we have an Evo 4 style bonnet that will literally bolt onto our car. Oh man, and it has functional vents, which is insane. As you can see, it's absolutely filthy because it's been sitting up on a shelf for I don't even know how long. But this is literally the piece of the puzzle that we're missing to really make this thing look like an Evo. So there's a little bit of work that needs to be done to it, although the work has pretty much been done. It had a little bit of damage down here, but other than that, these are just plates that bolt on and bolt off. They're not fully covering the vents, there is a gap, but we'll take those plates off because that way we'll be able to dissipate the heat from our turbo. But there we have it, we have a freaking bonnet. So today, we're gonna bolt that bonnet up to our car, and we're also gonna fit the front bumper properly because now that we've got the front mount and the piping on, we need to do a little bit of cutting on the front bumper, but essentially we should be completing the look of our budget Evo slash fake Evo slash Fevo CE Lancer. So Josh, thank you so much. I appreciate your support on the channel, and now I appreciate your contribution to this car, man. Over the moon. So without further ado, let's chuck the bonnet on. That is not light. Holy crap. Phew. Alright, this bonnet's off. Man, I always love the look of cars when they don't have bonnets on. You can't drive around like that though because the cops pretty much just want to kick you in the balls. Look at that engine, mate. Looks so good. So now, chucking this on. I don't know if I mentioned before, fiberglass. So literally, I have to put this down, the camera down so I can explain. I can pick it up with one hand. So light, it's ridiculous. Whereas this bonnet, literally I struggled to lift it off. So we're losing a lot of weight with this bonnet, which is a good thing I guess for power to weight ratio, but more importantly, we're gaining looks. Although the red is gonna look real weird against the rest of the car, but let's chuck it on. Man, so light. Holy crap, that looks so good. Even red, it still looks good. Come on, you gotta admit, that is so much better, so much more subtle. I could literally sit on my seat and just stare at that thing for hours. So good. Subtle bonnet vents, man. Nice. I'm not sure whether this is supposed to be like open, because it would make sense given that our air intake is like right here, so cold air coming in for our pod filter. So I just got to do a little bit of research on the internet and see kind of how all this is supposed to look. Oh my god, thank you Josh so much for this bonnet. You literally have made my whole week, even though it's only Tuesday. I think it's Monday. It's Monday. Yep, it's Monday. Lockdown is, it's hard to tell what day it is, to be honest. But now we're gonna fit up our front bumper. So I'll show you guys. Grab it. Very hard to do with one hand. So that's as far as it goes on at the moment, and that's because, as expected, this part hits the intercooler piping. So we're just going to mark it up and notch that out nice and cleanly, Mike. Nice and clean. And that way we can slit the bumper on. And then I need to drill holes over here so that we can actually fit the bumper up properly and have the whole thing together. See what it all looks like. I mean, you can already tell it's going to look super gangster. I also found some 140mm lights to go in this section here as well, where it's supposed to fit. So everything's coming up Millhouse, man. Slowly, but surely building our poor man's Evo budget build thing. One thing I have to say is if you work with fiberglass every day, kudos to you, because that is not really that fun. I did end up wearing a mask, by the way, because this stuff just goes everywhere and I don't want that inside my lungs. But the bumper is pretty much ready to fit up. It's just sitting there at the moment, looking pretty good, which I'm very happy about. But I was just wondering why the bonnet wasn't sitting flat, and I couldn't really figure it out. I was going to adjust the latch, and then I realized this right here is bent. So I'm going to pull it off and smash it straight again, put it back on, and then see if the bonnet sits flat, and then we can fit the bumper up properly. So I just need to drill a hole either side for the screws to go through, and we can kind of fit it up, and yeah, freaking amazing. That is pretty much exactly how much too high it was sitting. So let's get the hammer out, bash it. Oh, put it on backwards. All right, it's the right way around now. Oh, way better, which is nice. Probably still needs a slight adjustment. But all right, time to fit the bumper up properly and see how it all looks. Oh my God, I mean, you can already see. It's gonna look freaking awesome. Alright, she's all done. Suss it out. This thing looks insane. Sorry about the rain noise, but it's absolutely pissing down here. Look at this. So good. Budget Evo, literally looking like an Evo. I'm sure there's some Evo drivers that are watching this that are probably hating it, but man, I'm having a freaking blast building this thing. That looks so freaking good. Still a couple of wee fitment issues to sort out, but I'll get that done obviously when we do the body work. Just make sure everything fits super nice. But I gotta say, that bonnet just absolutely lifted the level of this car up like 100% easily. Crap, awesome. Crap, so awesome. Well, there you go guys, the Budget Evo is one step closer to looking like a real Evo. I'm over the moon. Huge thanks to Josh who hooked me up with that bonnet, because I honestly wouldn't have been able to find one if he didn't reach out to me. So thank you, bro, I appreciate that. I also got another treat for the car today. That's this Greddy eManage. So this is a piggyback ECU. It's got a universal wiring harness on it. We're gonna wire this into the current setup. So we still keep the stock ECU on the car, but we have the ability to tune this, plug the laptop in, and you can do a bunch of stuff. I know this isn't a standalone ECU, I know this is the budget option, but this is a budget build. So we're not going to go out and spend, you know, 1,500, 2 grand on an ECU when we're trying to keep the cost down and see what we can get out of this thing. And this ECU should give us all the tunability that we need to tune this engine. We're going to push it to like 10 PSI, nothing crazy, maybe a little bit more because, you know, us will get carried away. But it should have all the features we need to kind of tune this car. So I'm going to be wiring that in the next couple of days. Of course, you guys will get to see the process. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, super stoked. I paid 200 bucks for this, which is, you know, a good price. It's old school. It actually had S13 harness on it. That's why it says PS13 here. This thing's from Japan. It's pretty rad. So we'll go through this process and see kind of how it plays out. Actually, it also has an Autobahn sticker on it. So maybe someone bought this at Autobahn once. These used to be expensive once upon a time. These were like the go-to for tuning before you did the full standalone ECUs. So should be pretty interesting to see how it all plays out. That's it for this one, guys. If you want to support the channel, jump onto lakesideco.shop, grab yourself a snapback, stickers, a t-shirt. There's a bunch of stuff on there. Grab them while you can, because I do have some stuff going on in the background that's going to change up a lot of what's going on for me with Lakeside Co. But you guys will get to hear about that awesome news as soon as I can tell you. But yeah, like I said, you want to support the channel, jump on, grab yourself something. All proceeds go into building budget cars like this thing here. So as always, I appreciate the support, guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed the series. If you're new to the channel, feel free to go back and check out the Hilux build, the Datsun 280ZX build. We've done a bunch of stuff on this channel, the E36 build. Binge it, man. It's a good time. As always, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Until then, enjoy your evenings. Cheers, guys. Peace.